We looked you up.
Yeah.
You are 100% funded by Democrats. You donate to Democrats. You're out here asking bullshit questions.
What is the bullshit question?
All of your questions. So
This is a mailing. This is a mailing from
the American.
This is Donald Trump.
Trump. We all campaigned on protecting seniors' Social Security. You can't lie about it. See, yeah, this is your political agenda. You know what? We don't care.
You know what? We don't care. We don't care. That is what Marjorie Taylor Greene said to Alex Lawson, who is the director of Social Security Works, which is an organization that protects and advocates for no changes to our Social Security, ensuring that we can all retire with dignity, that the people who are currently on Social Security do not lose out on that. And again, don't have to like eat cat food or whatever to survive. That was her tossing, you know what she tossed right there? She tossed Donald Trump, Donald Trump's mailer, a mailer that he sent out to his voters promising to not cut Social Security, when in fact, he and others absolutely have it on the docket as something to cut. In fact, Marjorie Greene even voted for it, and we'll get into that in a second. But here is the full clip on how that all played out.
Mailing right here is for Democrat ads to attack Republicans.
So it's really simple. It's really simple.
No, it's
Will
not
you
simple.
pledge
No, you're a
to
liar.
take Social Security and Medicare cuts off the table?
You and this guy right here, look, you're lying.
What am I lying about?
Because
I'm asking you to take a pledge.
I don't need to take a pledge because we've already done that all year long. And guess what? The sad story for you is the American people elected Trump, his agenda, and Republicans to lead the country because you guys suck so bad.
So I'm just wondering if you want to take a pledge to not cut Social Security and Medicare.
And of course she won't. I believe she was on her way to the DOGE committee. She is very excited about the government of the Department of Government Efficiency. Again, Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk very much looking at so-called entitlement programs like Social Security and Medicare in order to cut them. And let me just tell you about Social Security Works because you might not know about them. Marge is immediately accusing Alex Lawson of being partisan. Now, that's really funny because Social Security Works actually has promised to put billboards in any member's district should they be part of the DOGE Caucus, but especially Democrats, right? That if any Democrat, and there's some of them who have said, hey, maybe DOGE will be good. I could see DOGE being good. If any Democrat even so much as joins the committee, Social Security Works will put a billboard in their state saying this congressperson, whomever, this senator is willing to slash your Social Security. Do not vote for them. So it's very funny that they're accused of being partisan when they're everything but. And oh, by the way, let's just bring some receipts on Marjorie Greene when it comes to Social Security, because back, let's see, I don't know what year this was, but 172 House Republicans voted for a bill that, yes, indeed, would reduce Social Security benefits for 14 million workers, including public school teachers, firefighters, and police officers. However, due to the opposition of Democrats and a small number of Republicans, it didn't pass. However, nearly 80% of House Republicans have already broken Trump's promise to protect Social Security, and that is according to Social Security Works. One of those Republicans, 172 of them, was Marjorie Greene. Ooh, here is that receipt for you. There's her vote. She voted yes on it. And now, of course, she cannot pledge that she won't try to cut Social Security. And he's trying to say, Sharon, he's like, look, this is what Trump wants you to do. Trump doesn't want you to cut Social Security. And she's like, no, I don't care. You're a partisan hack. And again, it's just what Trump needs to say, right? When all of his little minions in the background are doing exactly this.
Yeah, I'm not sure she knows her voting history even. And I think she didn't want to answer because she needed to run and call whatever the hotline is, the bat phone. She doesn't get to speak to Trump directly anymore, but somebody on the other line, maybe an intern would say, okay, yeah, you're good to go on this one. Say no to this, do that, do this. It's a silly game that she's playing, and she usually runs up to the reporter, curses at them, and says the same thing, accuses them of being in bed with someone when she ought to know. It's just, this is what Marge does, and here she consumes the news cycle. because the mainstream media, these are the clips that are going out because this is who they're putting a microphone in front of. And it's she's, what does she really have to say? She couldn't even say that basic thing. I mean, they lie about everything. Why not just say, I'm not going to support getting rid of Social Security, because she doesn't really know if that's what dear leader said or not. She has to check first.
Absolutely. And I gotta say, I just have to hand it to Social Security works, right? Like, we're in a time when so many people are rolling over. They're like, how can I capitulate to MAGA? How can I, take the pressure off media organizations, Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough. Oh, we're gonna go kiss the ring, and everyone's kissing the ring. There's not a lot of activism, not a lot being planned. I'm not saying people aren't planning, but it's there's not as much sort of resistance fanfare as there was in 2016 when Trump was elected. But Social Security Works is like, nah, we're not even waiting, because we know what DOGE has been talking about. They've been talking about cutting Social Security and Medicare. We know that so many Republicans have been on mainstream outlets or right-wing outlets basically saying the same thing. Look, you gotta eat your vegetables, you gotta cut. Look, and by vegetables, we mean cat food retiree who will not be able to afford fresh vegetables when we are done with Social Security, and when we privatize it and slash all of your benefits. And when we do the same to Medicare, and when we do the same to every other last vestige of a government that we currently have in this country. And we'll do it all under the guise of trying to, cut the deficit. Never mind when we send a bunch of money to Israel for, the killing of children. We don't care about that. And never mind the fact that Social Security literally, definitionally does not add to the deficit. So they don't actually even know how Social Security works. And yet Social Security works. So hats off to them for getting under Marge's skin.
Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.